Well, you know how you'd like to hit the ball further off the tee. Today, we're going to talk a bit about how you can hit the ball further without having to go and hit the gym or eat loads of protein shakes like Bryson DeChambeau. Even though I love him dearly, I want you to be able to make a real difference to your game without having to slave away in the gym. I know I don't want to get to the gym 5 days a week, but we want to make a real difference to how far you hit the ball without having to do too much work. Today, I'd like to share with you some tried and tested methods that can increase your distance with very little effort on your part. These methods have been proven by testing my students on TrackMan every single lesson, using these subtle techniques to test and measure how they change their distance instantly, and they can take it to the golf course straight away. So keep watching if you want to learn how to just increase that distance. Okay, so we're looking at increasing your distance, and the science behind this is basically what we call spin loft. Now, what is spin loft? Spin loft is basically the differential between your angle of attack and the dynamic loft at impact. So if you imagine my fingers here, this is my dynamic, this is my angle of attack, and this is my dynamic loft. If I squeeze these angles together, I hit the ball further. I lower that spin loft, lower that backspin, and create basically a higher efficiency. So how we achieve that in simple terms is by hitting up on the ball more, getting the plane to take off, and at the same time getting the shaft to lean forward to deloft the club. So I'm going to give you a couple of things to practice that are going to allow you to do that with ease. The first exercise is placing a head cover past your golf ball like so. And if you see here, it's just outside a club head width in front of where the ball will be. I've got the ball teed up just above the club face. So just a full ball above the driver hedge here. What I'm going to do is try and attempt to pick the ball off the tee without disturbing the tee and miss the cover with my follow through. That's going to ensure that my club is traveling up on the ball, ascending on the ball, and my low point of my swing would be before the ball. Another good thing to practice while we're about to attempt this is with your practice swings, try and get the feeling of the club bottoming out before the ball and then ascending up. These are going to guarantee us hitting up on the ball, which is only half of what we're trying to do, because we're also trying to deloft the club as well. But hitting up on the ball is the first part. Let's get that achieved consistently and then look to deloft the club. So if I take my setup as normal, ball position left heel, handle behind the ball as normal. So I'm going to try and feel I'm almost bottoming the club out here and then hitting up, picking the ball off sweetly and missing that cover. And as you can see there, I haven't disturbed the cover at all. The T-peg still fully intact, haven't broke it, and it hasn't moved. Now that's not the be-all and end-all, but it shows me that I'm not hitting down the ball. If I was crashing down on the ball, that T-peg would be flying everywhere. Obviously, if I bottomed out and just caught it on the way up, I could also disturb the T-peg from that too. But it's a good sign to see that things are intact. So phase 2, delofting this club. And how I like to think about this really is getting my lead arm to supinate my wrist to flex. So basically, this skill here. You can feel it more with your right arm as well if you're more a right side dominated player, but I like to feel it with my left, and I'm very right side dominated. But if I just take my golf club and do that action, supinating the club makes the club face close, flexing my wrist delofts the club. Again, all the things that are going to help encourage hitters to draw as well. As I supinate, I'm still trying to keep connection here with my torso. But essentially, I'm trying to get the golf club to go like this through the ball. That's essentially what I'm trying to do. Hit up on the ball and deloft. I would always advise starting with some small swings and hitting shots that have very little flight. When we reduce the speed and we get this spin loft very low, the flight on the ball is going to be very kind of almost nosedivey. It's still going to have backspin on it, but we're reducing the backspin by quite a lot. So the little swings will kind of look like this. Getting lots of shaft lean with the driver. And don't panic about that. The best drivers in the world have shaft lean, but they have lots of speed. If you haven't got lots of speed, getting a load of shaft lean probably won't be great for you. But I guarantee most of you that struggle with a driver are probably more like this and get you know, almost negative shaft lean, and the club in the ball interaction isn't right. There's lots of loft, the face is opening. So encouraging this as a drill is going to influence the normal to change rather than be this is what you do normally. So this is what we're looking for. So let's just hit a short shot doing that very skill. Again, it's quite difficult. The ball shouldn't travel probably any more than probably 50, 60 yards in the air, and it should be very low. Absolutely nailed that, exactly what I was looking to do. Probably landed about 80 to 100 yards, but really, really low. It's a good job this tee's elevated, otherwise that ball wouldn't have had hardly any flight at all. Felt very sweet, felt very strong for such a small swing. The idea would be I'd start to give that more speed, more length of swing, and see that flight just edge up a little bit, and then go to full power afterwards. So after that, I now expect you to hitting bombs off the tee all the time. In all seriousness, it should make an instant difference to how far you hit the ball. Probably 5 to 10% depending on your current swing speed, without you having to get to the gym, as we said, or have to change your swing drastically. If it is, please let me know in the comments box what gains you've got. It'd be great to hear from you and hear what differences made to your game. As I said, they are tried and tested, and I back them to work for you straight away. If you've enjoyed the video, please share the video to other golfers. I'm sure they'd like to improve their game just like you and I would. Also, if you haven't already followed me or subscribed, please hit my logo down this bottom corner and join me on my journey, and let me help take you on that journey to enjoy your golf more. Thanks for joining me today at the Forest of Arden. See you again here real soon.